Hi, you guys. It's Yaz. Today, I want to talk about how narcissists operate, okay? In order to deal with a narcissist, you have to understand the narcissist and understand how they operate. And the way a narcissist operates is they can't take accountability because they can't deal with shame. So, what are they going to do when you have an argument with them, or you try to call them out for something, or you try to resolve conflict with that narcissist? They're going to flip the blame on you. This is exactly what narcissists do. They want to flip the blame on you, make you the bad guy, okay? Narcissists love to make everybody else the bad guy. And who do they make the bad guy? The person that they're closest with. In other words, their partners. They are the ones that are the main target when they have a problem or something like that. Like, let's say something breaks in the house. Whose fault is it? It's your fault. Let's say the narcissist goes out and cheats on you. Whose fault is it? It's your fault. You were cold. You were indifferent. You didn't show them enough attention. You work too much. A narcissist always has something to say to flip it onto you or to somebody else. This is what you got to understand. They will not own it. They will not take accountability. So it's not you that is at fault. And this is what they do. They will try to mind fuck their victims into thinking that they did something wrong. What a narcissist does is they manipulate you to make you think you're crazy, you have mental issues, you need therapy, you're sensitive, you're negative. And who does this? Covert narcissists love to do this, okay? A covert narcissist, their goal is to make you look crazy and make you look crazy to everybody else. This is how they discredit you. You are the target because what they're doing is they're deflecting. And that's exactly what narcissists do to get out of taking accountability. They deflect it onto somebody else. But where you make your mistake is when you start defending yourself. In other words, let's say you're calling the narcissist out for doing something wrong. All right? That narcissist is going to flip it onto you. Like, in other words, let's say you say something to the narcissist to the effect of, well, you never text me back when you're out or something like that. What are they going to do? They're going to call you controlling. You're trying to control their life or something to that effect. You've got to be focused when you're dealing with a narcissist. In other words, you can't let them give you that word salad and make you think like you're controlling, you're sensitive, or something like that. You have a set of values and boundaries that you abide by. And if that narcissist breaks that, that's not because of you. That's because the narcissist was doing something that was disrespectful to you. So by you calling out the narcissist, you're respecting yourself, okay? You're letting them know, hey, we're in a relationship and I shouldn't have to feel uncomfortable if I contact you or that I'm bothering you or something like that, as long as you're not being annoying with it, okay? Obviously, you're not texting them every 2 minutes or annoying them, let's say if they're out with their friends or their family. But if it's respectful and everything like that, and they find fault with it, what are they going to do? They're going to flip the blame. They're going to say that you're controlling, you're trying to track them, you're too much and everything like that. This is why I tell you, you've got to have, you've got to set down the guidelines when you go into a relationship with somebody and let them know what you expect and what you don't expect. You've got to be clear with it. And then when they break your boundary, you give them one warning, okay? One warning. If they do it again, then they have no respect for you and no respect for your boundaries. And that's when you got to step back from that and say to yourself, you know what? If I let this go, they're going to keep doing it. And guess what? They're going to push more and more and more, because this is what a narcissist will do. They're going to test you in the beginning to see how much they can get away with. How do they do that? By not contacting you or texting you back right away and doing it all the time, maybe contacting you the next day or 2 days later or something like that. And they're going to see your reaction to that. How much will you take? And the more you take, guess what? the more that narcissist knows they can walk all over you because you have loose boundaries. So you've got to be clear with it in the beginning what you'll accept and what you won't. So they can't come back to you and say, oh, you never said that, or, I didn't know you meant that, or something like that. You got to be clear with it, okay? Don't be afraid to speak up. You have to respect yourself first. Otherwise, these people are going to twist everything around. And this is exactly what narcissists do. They're going to confuse your mind, confuse your brain. And after a while, you're not going to know what's truth and what's not. Why? Because you're not focused, okay? A narcissist is going to always twist things around. They're going to pull things out of a hat to justify whatever they say, even if it's nonsense. You've got to be able to say, no. Okay, all right, I'm not getting transparency from you. Okay, let me step back from this, all right? And then you have to reevaluate whether you want to be in that relationship with somebody who's not being transparent with you. Now, everybody has different kinds of problems that they deal with. You have couples that are dating, you have couples that are in long-term relationships, you have couples that are married, and you have couples that are married with kids, all right? So my point is this, if you're in a serious relationship with somebody and you have children, things get complicated, all right? It gets complicated on how to raise the kids, dealing with families, graduations, birthday parties, and the outside family becomes more involved when you have children. So you've got to be with somebody that you can resolve conflict with. And what a narcissist will do is they are going to flip the blame on you when something's not right. In other words, let's say their mother is upset or something. What are they going to do? They're going to blame you and say, oh, you didn't call her enough or something like that. Or you don't bring the kids over as much. This is what they'll do. It's your fault for everything that happens. But when you step back from that and you say to yourself, you know what, let me step back from this mess and everything like that, guess what that narcissist is going to do? They're going to find a new target. And you see this in families all the time. When the person who is the scapegoat, leaves the family dynamic and says, you know what, I'm not dealing with this toxicity anymore. Guess what that narcissist is going to do? They're going to find a new target to bully, because a narcissist is a bully. And, when things go wrong, they've got to blame somebody. It's like when the narcissist goes to a restaurant and the food, doesn't taste the way they like. It's always somebody's fault, okay? And they could even blame you for that. Oh, you told me to go to this restaurant and look at the food. They're going to justify whatever they say to make it your fault. But when you step back from that, they're going to find a new target. It's like when you have a bully in school and they're bullying somebody. When that kid no longer allows themselves to be bullied by somebody, the bully is going to find a new target. And it's the same thing with a narcissist. This is what they do. And they do it also not only to avoid taking accountability, but they do it to build themselves up. Because people that bully other people are insecure. And the way that they feed off, feeling like they're somebody or they're important or they're strong or something like that, is to put somebody else down. And who do they put down? They put down somebody who's vulnerable because they know they can't take on a strong person, all right? Narcissists know who they can and can't play with. Believe me when I tell you, I've seen this time and time again. Narcissists know who they can and can't play with. And you'll see a narcissist, tread lightly with somebody, that is a no-nonsense, tough person. And then when they're with somebody that maybe has a lot of heart or lets things go or is a little bit more soft about things, they're gonna walk all over you and they're gonna bully you because they feel they can. They look at you as weak. A narcissist can't stand weakness. So although they can't stand a person who's strong, they still respect them, okay? They won't deal with them, but they still respect them. But, a lot of narcissists, the reason that narcissists are impossible is because they don't want to live in peace. They need that constant putting somebody down in order to feel good about themselves. Why did you let the dog stay out all day? Why did you leave a coffee cup in the sink? Why did you leave your shoes by the door and not upstairs or something like that? They're going to find things to pick on to make you feel low, and it gives them a sense of power and control. Narcissists need constant power and control, and this is why they can't live in peace. This is the truth, man. A narcissist can't live in peace because they're not getting that feeding. They're not feeding their control, their need for control and power and everything like that. That's why a lot of narcissists like to fight. Now, narcissists fight in two different ways. You could deal with a grandiose or overt type of narcissist or a malignant narcissist that can get violent with it. They could be very dangerous. That will, get in your face, bully you, intimidate you, maybe put you up against a wall where you're walking on eggshells and you're really fearing for yourself of something popping off, okay? This is their way to control you and make you stand at allegiance. In other words, you're afraid to open your mouth. You always have things right. It's like sleeping with the enemy. Every can is turned a certain way because you don't want to piss off the narcissist. You're dealing with, an overt or malignant narcissist that will, rage on you or something like that. And then you have the covert narcissist that will kill you with silence, and they will kill you with quietness. In other words, they won't validate you. They'll make you feel alone in the house. They'll walk by you and make like you don't even exist. They'll really make you feel alone, okay? And then what they'll do is they'll talk to other people about you to get back at you and get revenge on you. That's exactly what a covert narcissist, that's how they get their revenge and how they fight, okay? Just so you know. But my point in all of this, when we're talking about narcissists and how they deal with, taking accountability and everything like that, narcissists, this is what you got to understand, you guys. Narcissists can't live in peace. It's like, have you ever gone on vacation with a narcissist and you tried to make everything right, okay? You tried to pick the right hotel. You tried to, plan out everything. Guess what? That narcissist is always going to have something the fuck to say, all right? They're not going to like something about the food. They're not going to like something about the people. They're not going to like the activity. They're going to be bored. They're going to be complaining. That's another thing. Narcissists, a lot of them love to complain about things. They're never satisfied. I did a reel on this, and it was so true. What is a narcissist's weakness? A narcissist's weakness is that they can never be happy. They always, there's always something that they find fault with, and they're going to find fault with you. They are impossible. They don't appreciate what they have. These people don't appreciate what they have. So they always think the grass is greener somewhere else or with somebody else. And a lot of times people think narcissists come back because, they realized what they lost or something. It's not that they realized that they lost you and they were in love with you, because a narcissist doesn't love. They're after supply, which is either sex, money, a place to live, or to have their ego fed. But they come back because maybe you're a better supply than whoever they're with, or they're not doing so good out there. And guess what? They're going to see if they can still get something off you that you have to offer them, okay? So they're opportunists, they're users, and everything like that, and they do not live in peace. I can't say this enough. A narcissist cannot live in peace. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. I grew up with this. I had a parent who was a malignant narcissist who would nitpick at everything. Nitpick about the food, nitpick about the house. We walked on eggshells. It was terrifying, okay? And always found fault with something, and it's a horrible, horrible way to live. And no matter what you do, these people are never happy, okay? They're happy for like a minute when they're getting an instant ounce of pleasure, which could be sex or somebody flattering their ego. But then what are they doing? They're nitpicking about something else. They never stay at that even keeled. They have highs and lows. And this is what people experience when they're in relationships with narcissists. They experience highs and lows. Oh, the narcissist is happy. Oh, everybody's happy. The narcissist is happy. And then when the narcissist experiences that low, guess what? They're going to start blaming you for why they're not feeling good, because they got to blame somebody. Somebody's got to take the heat when you're dealing with a narcissist. So the best thing to do when you're dealing with these people is to get away from them, okay? And I get people all the time that say to me, well, I can't just get away from them. You know, I have kids with them. Minimal contact, gang. Minimal contact. You only deal with them with regard to the kids and the facts of whatever needs to be done with the children. That's it. And you have a court order specifying exactly how you're going to do visitation, financial obligations, and everything like that. But the biggest thing you have to understand is, yes, we know a lot of narcissists, they're delusional. A lot of them are crazy in their thinking, but don't let them make you crazy. And that's what they're going to do. What they cause is self-doubt in you, and you start to doubt yourself and doubt your own thinking. And then you start to think there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you if you're doing the right thing, okay? Remember that. If you know you're doing the right thing every day, and that narcissist is still picking and blaming you for everything, you know you're dealing with a toxic person. And that's why I tell you, you've got to be focused. You've got to recognize it, and you've got to be focused and stop guessing yourself. Go by your intuition. That's God's way of telling you something's not right, all right? And understand, you're dealing with a control freak. A narcissist is a control freak that's trying to control everything in their world and in your world. So if you're in the narcissist world, guess what? They're going to try to control what's around you. And some narcissists will try to control what you say when you're out with people. They'll control what you wear. They'll critique what you wear. Oh, why did you wear that dress when we went to the office party? It's okay. You know, they make you feel like you're nothing. They don't build you up. Narcissists don't build you up. They rip you down to make themselves feel better. So somebody's always got to be ripped down so that the narcissist can get that high and feel like they're important. And why do they do this? Usually it stems from their childhood. They were either put down or never validated as a kid, or they were the golden child that never had boundaries and they felt, entitled to this or entitled to that. So they never had that control in their childhood. And guess what? Now they want to control their own life. And now if you're in that life, they're going to try to control you and what you do. And they're always going to want to be on top, okay? When you're in a relationship with a narcissist, it's not a partnership. They're going to try to control something, whether they're going to try to control that they're smarter than you, or, better looking than you, or a better achiever than you. And they're going to put you down and say, you don't know what you're talking about. And when things go wrong, you're going to take the heat. And if you're out of the picture, guess what? A lot of narcissists too, later on in life, when you're out of the picture, they start blaming their kids, okay? A narcissist will blame their kids sometimes too when things don't get right, when they don't have anybody else to blame. They'll blame anybody to make themselves right. So step back from it, get away from that toxicity, and recognize you're dealing with a control freak, a narcissist that's going to flip the blame on everybody else and never own it because they can't deal with shame. It'll rip them inside because as it is, they're empty inside and they don't feel like they're anything, even though they pretend they have this big front that they're strong and everything like that. Trust me when I tell you, deep down, they're a coward underneath. They're a coward because cowards do that, all right? So step back from it and walk away from it. I hope that helps you guys. If it did, please hit the subscribe button and share the podcast. Hi, you guys. I just want to let you know that the Game Exposed now has their merchandise available. Check out the link in the bio. And you could go check it out. There's cool hoodies, cool sweatpants, cool hats. So go to the bio for the link. And also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook at The Game EXP123 and also on Instagram, The Game EXP123. Okay? And have a great day. If you guys are having a problem in your dating or relationship, or you're dealing with somebody maybe that's narcissistic, you don't know if they're a narcissist, or you're just having problems, you're in a toxic relationship, and you need some clarity on it, go to the link in the podcast description for my website where I offer email and phone coaching. If you have a quick question, just a quick question, and you want to get a video sent back to you answering your question, there's also a link there for Vizio where I will send you a personalized video answering your question. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and I want to tell you about my 2 books on Amazon. The first book is Regain Your Power. It's all about power and relationship. Who has the power in the relationship? And it goes into all of that, okay? The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time, okay? Check it out. It gives you a lot of good clues as to whether you're with somebody who's a real one or somebody who's just going to waste your time. You could read them both with Kindle's free trial membership. So check it out. Link is in the podcast description.